Hi, this is Mrs. Coffee. We are going to do an experiment today. This is called Sheep in a Jeep Lab A. And you should have a recording sheet from Cami pulled up so that you can first start by writing your name at the top. You can type it in on Cami. So your name should go here, your first and last name. And then when you read through an experiment, it gives you an idea about what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be reading the instructions as we go. And I always like to set up the experiment similar to if you've ever made a recipe. So you want to have all your ingredients out when you're making a recipe. But with a science experiment, you need to make sure you have all the materials you need for the experiment. So the things we're going to be using for this experiment are a little sheep, a Jeep. These materials are used to make a ramp. And then we have a tape measure. You could also use a ruler. It's just easier for you to see on camera when I use the tape measure for measuring. And then you need 2 books. So what we're going to do first is we are going to put the sheep into the Jeep, but he needs a seat belt. So we're going to use a piece of masking tape as the seat belt. This is so that the sheep does not go flying when we put him down the ramp. So now he is secured into the Jeep. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to assemble the ramp. So this purple part is the ramp, and it goes on the stand. So this is like a little ladder. So what I'm doing is looking for the holes that are at the bottom, and we're going to put those. They should be 5 centimeters from the bottom of the stand. So I'm going to measure using the metric system. So scientists always use the metric system because it is like the universal language of science, so that scientists from around the world can communicate with each other using the same unit of measurement. So the metric system is used everywhere in the world when we're talking about scientific measurements. So this is 5 centimeters from the bottom, so that is the right place for us to put our ramp. So I'm going to put the crossbar in first before I tighten the top piece. Okay, so this is how high our ramp is going to be, 5 centimeters tall. And then I'm just going to put this top piece on, and this secures the, this will secure it in place. Okay, so now it is ready for our ramp. So we're going to put the ramp, and I'm going to scoot it between the 2 books, so that when I release the Jeep from the top of the ramp, there will be a path for that Jeep to follow. Okay, so now we're ready to look at the instructions again. So it says we're going to start by pushing the Jeep up the ramp to the top. So I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to put the Jeep at the bottom, and then I'm going to start pushing it with my hand up the ramp. Okay? And then we're looking at question 1. What force caused the Jeep to move up the ramp? So I want you to go ahead and think about, I'm going to do this again. What force am I using to get that Jeep to go up the ramp? What force is that called? I'll do it again. And write that on the line. I'd like you to use a complete sentence, please. So, for example, you could write, the force that caused the Jeep to move up the ramp is called, and then you tell me what that force is called. Okay. Then next, it says, now let the Jeep roll down the ramp without pushing it. Okay, so I'm starting at the top, and I'm just going to release it. I am not pushing it. I'm going to put my hand at the bottom. Okay. So you can see that it rolled down the ramp. I want you to think about what force is causing that Jeep to move down the ramp. And I want you to go ahead and record what do you think that force is called on the line for question 2? So I would like you to write in a complete sentence and write, the force that caused the Jeep to move down the ramp is called, and then tell me what that type of force is. Some words to think about as you're answering these questions are, what is a force? If you will remember, we learned that a force is a push or a pull. So you may want to use those words when you're writing your sentences. This is checkpoint A. So there's a little box at the bottom of the page that you can go ahead and check when you are done. And then you are going to turn this form in to me through Kami. You're going to download it and then attach it in Google Classroom to turn it in. I hope you enjoyed our experiment number 1. Tomorrow we're going to be doing Lab B.